the new rule that the NFL has adopted has basically destroyed the kickoff. There's really no other way to describe it. I'm sure the owners who passed this rule and those in management that wanted the rule passed would push back on that notion. It is not destroyed. But the bottom line is, if you kick the ball off in the NFL and an individual catches it within his own 25-yard line and his own end zone, he can raise his hand, catch the ball, plays over, ball winds up on the 25-yard line. We're seeing it in college football, and you could say, well, it hasn't ruined the kickoff in college football. I don't recall the last time I've seen a ball returned in college football, certainly for a touchdown, and I'm sure you can send me all sorts of YouTube videos and the like to push back on that notion. But this is done out of player safety, and I understand, again, I keep saying from this microphone, and will reiterate now, I know many people within the league front office who wring their hands over the player safety issue non-stop. They live their lives on the player safety issue. They treat it very seriously, and they do it with nothing but the best of intentions. And I understand the reason why their jobs may be created also, part of it, is a liability issue. We just saw the league get sued for a bunch of money, and it's a concussion settlement. Now, part of that is born out of the fact that this was way back from in the day when, you just rub dirt on it, and a totally different world. Roger Goodell has absolutely ushered in to the NFL a world in which a culture change has been made. And it's still a work in progress. All you have to do is just remember Tua from last year. All that said, I understand these folks in the NFL want to avoid a kickoff scenario similar to, say, the movie Braveheart, where some people are running from one end, and other people are running from one end, full speed, and in the middle of the field of battle. Holy heck, breaking loose.
Jon Snow gif pulling out the sword.
Yeah, pretty much.
Waiting.
But he's standing there
Just
by himself.
Yeah.
And so the league did make some rule changes about wedge blocking, and also players have to start from a standing position once the ball is kicked off. You can't get a running start. I understand where this is coming from. But at some point, there has to be a notion that wins the day. That the quality of football is something that fans want to see. And that there has to be a better way of dealing with the situation than essentially legislating it out. There has to be, because this is still a contact sport, and that's why so many people not only watch it, consume it, attend it, talk about it, live it, breathe it, or play it. And I can't envision a scenario in which somebody's going to return a kickoff. If somebody's receiving the ball inside their own 5-yard line, are they really going to run it out? Maybe just instinctively, because that's the way that they've been doing it their entire lives. If you're receiving the ball in the end zone, it's over. Well, if you receive the ball on your 2, your 3, your 10, I guess if you receive the ball on your 20, then the ball's kind of popped up in the air, and you'll just wave your hand and take it from the 25. Squib kicks are one of the most annoying things to see.
No, get ready.
And I think you're going to see them nonstop now.
Yep.
Line drives. I have covered this sport since 2003 solely with the NFL Network. And obviously being on SportsCenter in 96 nationally. Thankfully, you've let me into your homes in some way, shape, or form over 27 years now. The most exciting plays in the NFL I can recall that are conventional plays. I'm not talking about the Music City Miracle, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about the Minnesota Miracle or the Miami Miracle, which are plays that are complete outliers, Hail Marys and things like that. Just conventional football plays. The most exciting play is a kickoff. Yeah. The two plays that leap to mind was the Super Bowl in Miami when the Colts and the Bears were playing each other, and the conversation all week long was, how can the Bears win this game against Peyton Manning and Rex Chapman? And the answer was Devin Hester. That was it.
Rex Grossman.
Yep. Devin Hester.
You said Rex Chapman.
I'm sorry, Rex Grossman. Pardon me. Devin Hester was the answer.
Opening kickoff.
And we settle into our seats.
Come on.
And when the Bears got the opening kickoff, everybody in that stadium was like, this is not going to happen. I mean, they're going to this is not going to get kicked to him. They're not going to do that. Tony Dungy's not going to do that.
No.
They did it, and then he ran it back.
That was unbelievable.
To this day, in any sport, and I've seen home runs where you're like, he can't do it. Will he do it? For real? Can he do it? In terms of me physically seeing it with my own two eyes, I've never seen a moment met, expectation met like that. And he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, as he should, because of the kickoff return. Punt return, sure. Kickoff return. In this day and age, with this rule. And then, last year, Damar Hamlin, after everything that happened to him, he's back in the building in Buffalo. And Nyheim Hines returns the opening kick for a touchdown. This is, to me, in 20 years, the most remarkable, memorable, moving, poignant, amazing regular season moment. I can't recall another one. And then he did it again. Come on. Can't make it up. Now what? He's going to wave his arm? I want a fair catch? Come on. Don't take my word for it. Take the coaches. And I'll tell you what. They are pissed. They are really pissed. This, to me, by the way, with Andy Reid, this is him pissed. You never see him. He's always talking about championships and hamburgers, right? Like, that's it. Cheeseburgers and championships, by the way.
I'm writing that down.
Cheeseburgers.
A terrible Parrot Head song, right?
I was just going to say Jimmy Buffett did not record that one.
This is Andy Reid.
My thing is, where does it stop, right? So you start taking pieces, and, we'll see how this goes. But you don't want to take too many pieces away, or you'll be playing flag football.
That's a pissed off Andy Reid. Trust me. I think I'm fluent in Andy Reid. That's an angry man. Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell had this to say on this very day about this new rule.
It's very frustrating, but look, I don't make the rules, and so that's a new rule, and then we'll live by the new rule. We'll find a way to adjust, adapt, and still get what we want. That's what you got to do. But I hate that we continue to take away from the game. That's what really worries me. We continue to bleed this league. If we're not careful, it won't replenish at one point, but listen, it's the rules, and we'll make do and we'll adjust.
That's what coaches always say. This is it. It is what it is. Schedule's a schedule. We'll play them whenever they put it out there, but they are pissed, really pissed. John Harbaugh's on Friday's show. He's a head coach born out of special teams. Guess what he's going to sound like on Friday? Pissed.
That.
And those two guys we just heard from, they're the first two coaches that are going to have to make do against each other in the first kickoff game. Against each other. It's 1 year. That's what they'll say. I hate it already.
They could always roll it back. We've seen rules.
Well, the pass
recently,
interference
one and
thing,
done.
they were one and doneing it. And I understand this is born out of player safety, and it's not my money put on the line due to liability. I get it. I understand it. But at some point, there's got to be someone standing up in the room for the content, for the fans. And nothing's more exciting. I just gave you two things that I'm talking about today in 2023. One from last year and one from when Prince was alive, rest in peace, that night at the Super Bowl. What are we doing? We're essentially legislating those moments away. And what's left? Fantasy football. Fantasy football plays, I guess. I don't know. I'm not pleased about it at all. But it is just the kickoff, and then you kick off, and it's the 25-yard line, and, you know, now we're watching football. And I guess we'll still all be glued to our television sets and what have you, but there will be a time where I think I'm going to turn to my grandchildren, knock on wood. Hey, you want to see some great moments? It's called a kickoff. They'll be like, what's that? And there'll be YouTube for that. And I think that's a damn shame. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.